I checked into the hotel late one night, hoping for a restful sleep after a long day of travel. The room was simple, but clean, and the bed looked inviting. As I sank into the soft mattress, I noticed the pillow felt unusually firm, but I was too tired to care. Little did I know, this was the beginning of a horrifying journey. That first night, my dreams were unlike any I'd ever experienced. Vivid, terrifying images haunted my sleep. I found myself trapped in a labyrinth of dark corridors, chased by shadowy figures. I woke up drenched in sweat, heart pounding, but dismissed it as travel fatigue. The following nights, the dreams grew more intense and sinister. Each time I fell asleep, I was pulled deeper into the nightmare. I saw visions of other hotel guests, their faces twisted in terror, calling for help. I tried to wake up, but the dream wouldn't release its grip on me. The more I struggled, the tighter it held. One night, I dreamt of an old, decrepit room in the hotel. The walls were covered in mildew, and the air was thick with decay. In the center of the room, on an antique bed, lay the same pillow from my room. It seemed to pulse with a malevolent energy. I watched in horror as a figure approached the bed, lay down, and immediately began convulsing. Eyes wide with terror, I knew then that this pillow was the source of the nightmares. Determined to escape its grasp, I tried sleeping without the pillow, but even then, the nightmares continued, now accompanied by a suffocating sensation, as if an invisible force was pressing down on me. It was as if the pillow's curse had latched onto me, refusing to let go. Desperate for answers, I began researching the hotel's history. I discovered that the pillow had been left behind by a previous guest who had died under mysterious circumstances. It was said that anyone who used it would be drawn into their worst fears, trapped in a cycle of nightmares that would eventually lead to their death. I couldn't just leave, knowing that the next guest might fall victim to the same fate. I confronted the hotel staff, but they dismissed my claims as nonsense. Frustrated, I took matters into my own hands. One night, I stole the pillow from my room and headed to the basement, where I found an old furnace. With a sense of finality, I threw the pillow into the flames, watching as it was consumed by fire. For a moment, I felt a sense of relief, but that night, as I lay down to sleep, the nightmares returned, more vivid and terrifying than ever. The pillow was gone, but its curse remained. I realized too late that by destroying the pillow, I had only angered the malevolent force behind it. Now, each night, I'm pulled into the same nightmare. The shadowy figures close in, and I can feel my strength waning. I know my time is running out. If you ever find yourself in that hotel, beware the pillow. It may look harmless, but it holds a dark power that will stop at nothing to claim its victims. As I record this, I hope someone out there will heed my warning. If you ever find yourself in that hotel, do not, under any circumstances, use the pillow. It's too late for me, but perhaps my story can save someone else from the same fate. As the days passed, the nightmares began to seep into my waking hours. I would see fleeting shadows out of the corner of my eye, hear faint whispers that seemed to come from nowhere, and feel an oppressive presence that followed me wherever I went. My health deteriorated rapidly. I was always tired, my nerves were frayed, and I found it increasingly difficult to distinguish between reality and the horrific visions that plagued my sleep. One night, as I lay in bed, exhausted but unable to sleep, I decided I needed to confront whatever was haunting me. I got up and retraced my steps to the basement where I had burned the pillow. The air grew colder as I descended the stairs, and a sense of dread settled over me. When I reached the furnace, I found the remains of the pillow charred, but not entirely destroyed. It was as if the flames had been unable to completely consume its evil essence. Suddenly, I felt a sharp pain in my chest and collapsed to the floor, gasping for breath. The shadows around me coalesced into a dark figure, its eyes glowing with malevolence. It reached out a hand, and I felt an icy grip around my heart. I realized then that the curse was tied to me, not the pillow. Destroying it had only angered the entity, and now it was claiming its final revenge. With the last of my strength, I whispered a desperate plea for help. As the darkness closed in, I felt a strange warmth spread through me. I was no longer in the basement, but standing in a field of light. I saw the faces of those who had come before me, the victims of the pillow. Now at peace, they beckoned me forward, and I knew I had a choice to make: succumb to the curse or fight back one last time. Drawing on the strength of those who had suffered before me, I fought the darkness with every ounce of willpower I had left. I visualized the curse breaking, shattering into a million pieces, and the malevolent force dissipating into nothingness. The pressure on my chest eased, and the dark figure began to fade. I woke up in my room, drenched in sweat but alive. The oppressive presence was gone, and for the first time in weeks, I felt a sense of peace. I knew the curse had been broken, not just for me, but for all who had suffered because of the cursed pillow. In the days that followed, my health improved, and the nightmares ceased. I checked out of the hotel and left the town, but the experience had changed me forever. I vowed to warn others about the dangers lurking in seemingly innocuous objects, and the power of malevolent forces that prey on the unsuspecting. This is my story, my nightmare, and my warning to you: beware of the pillow in that hotel, and trust your instincts if something feels wrong. Sometimes, the most ordinary objects can hold the darkest secrets.